You really want to do something, and it's been a couple of months, but you just haven't got around to doing it, or even if you have, it hasn't gotten to the final product. And it's just repeating that cycle that you have these desires and you have these tremendous amounts of motivation to actually go and do something. And finally, if you look at yourself after like a couple of months since when the idea first arrived, you're just like, no, it didn't happen, and it's just dying like the rest of your ideas. And here is where you might be going wrong and how to actually fix that. So I'll narrate what might be happening for you so that we can diagnose the problem as well as possible. You have a great idea, you think about it for like a while, and then maybe when you can't sleep, all of the thoughts are coming to your head, you pick up your phone, you do a little bit of research about it, and you figure out how you can make it work, what kind of work will go in, and then you probably get to step two about who it's going to affect, how it's going to affect, what you're going to have to do. And when it actually comes to doing it, you just find yourself switching the app maybe from Safari, Google, or maybe ChatGPT itself. That was the case for me, but just switching the app and going to social media or finding some other way to distract yourself, which isn't doing the activity or taking the action. And it just reflects that every time things get hard, or when you actually get to the part that you didn't expect, that you weren't optimistic for because you weren't completely informed about everything that was going to happen, um, you just give up. And it's been a repeating cycle for you. And that point, that exact point where you're switching the app or you've given up and just been like, okay, I'll continue this later. That's the point where you're going wrong. I think you know this too, because sometimes when you are doing the action, you realize. And so if you reach that point, you have two choices. You can either, like, always just give up and go look for dopamine, or do something more easier, do something that you're comfortable with and make sense. Don't worry, I'm with you here. A lot of the times you will be doing, yeah, just the easy stuff because you never signed up for the hard part. You didn't know it was going to be so hard, and you didn't know there was going to be friction, and you didn't know that it was actually going to take effort. Am I right? But the truth is that you did know when you want something positive, when you want a great reward in your life for a certain behavior. That's how all behavior is trained. You do a behavior, you get reward, you do the behavior again. And so you want like a great reward. It is going to be difficult, and you knew that when you had the thought that, yeah, it's going to be hard, I'm going to do it. And then when it actually got hard, poof, just not going to do it again. And that's where the second choice comes in. Just a reminder that, yeah, I knew it was going to hard, and I don't even actually need to be that scared, because the truth is you're scared because it's just so vague, the whole plan. You are so uninformed, and then when the hard part comes, you think all of it is going to be hard. And maybe it is, but your imagination just runs wild, your mind is playing games, and everything looks way more difficult than it needs to be, because it's all vague, and it's all of this could happen, all of this could happen. And then there is this point of the choice that I told you where you're going wrong. There you need to get informed. You need to actually understand how much work it's going to take. At least you might not be able to figure it all of it out, but you'll be figure able to figure out key this is the right direction. You just need to be directionally right. And since you know it's going to be hard, you remind yourself that. Then you move on to, yeah, it's going to take these many things, it's going to take this much amount of effort, it's going to take this many inputs. And when you figure that out, you get to the specifics. It's more peaceful, it's not that scary anymore. And once you're informed, after like the first two steps where you would probably have given up, once you're informed, you're going to push through it. And you need to really, really train your behavior that way, because till now you've been rewarding yourself for giving up. Just, yeah, giving up, getting dopamine, that's rewarding yourself. And if you really don't want to train your behavior that way, if that's not the person that you want to be for the rest of your life, it's got to change. And it's pretty simple, but it is difficult and time consuming, because think about the last time when you put all your effort into something, and just remember the reward. The reward might, I think, 90% of the time, if you actually put all of your effort in, I don't even think you care about the external reward. It's just the piece of self that you get. And that is so rewarding when you hit that milestone of, yeah, I worked so hard, I did everything I could. That is so peaceful. It's just so nice. And then once you get that reward, you can train yourself to do more of it. And if you haven't had that till now, take my word for it. Or what's wrong? Why don't you try it? You've been just giving up so quickly anyway. Oh, yeah, you just jump to the easiest thing. Try the hard thing, not even the hard thing, just the good thing for once. And then go get informed about what how much the reward will be like. And while starting out, if it's your first time, you might think the reward is external, it's going to be something, maybe how people perceive you, or some other monetary reward. But I think at the end, the reward, on a long enough time horizon, you're going to realize that it's pretty much intrinsic. And these two or three things, that those lead to choice number two. So if you're making choice one your whole life, that's where you're going wrong. And make choice two. um, just whenever you find yourself switching, and then this find yourself switching will come after like loads of time. Of course, you need to be self-conscious, and that's time consuming, but it will happen. You will realize it. It's just a matter of time. And so choice number two, pretty simple. Realize why you actually wanted to do take the action in the first place. Realize, yeah, I knew it was going to be hard, and that's why it's going to be like so much more rewarding. That's why everybody doesn't do it. That's why I'm me, I'm unique, I'm taking these actions. And number three, my behavior needs to be this way because I am this kind of person. And with that, don't let the idea die. Go change something.